So here it is, the GSX-S 1000 2021 model onward meter visor. Just arrived today. I've taken it out of the box. First thing, the photos on the web show this as kind of a matte finish, unpainted. It's come shiny, so totally different to what I was expecting. As it's come from Suzuki itself, it's a little bit surprising. You can see a little sort of moulding mark just up by my thumb. Would have hoped that wasn't there, to be honest. Got the brackets. Now this is about £116 retail in the UK, so it's not cheap. So I was wondering where the money's been spent, and it seems to come with a whole new front panel, which I'm surprised they didn't just send a template. They could go on the original, because I can't see any difference between this and the original. And if it's a template and you draw your own holes, probably save quite a few quid there. As for the instructions, I've had to read through the instructions. I was really excited when I saw torque. You know, I love to torque all my bolts up. I love everything to be specific. So see torque ratings there are absolutely brilliant. Tells you what tools you need. However, I have no idea whether the metric system across the pond is completely different to in the UK. But that says clearly 10mm open-end wrench, 10mm. So these are the bolts that come with it. Here's my 10mm, and as you can see, they're not 10mm. They're actually 8mm. So ignore the instructions. Surprising from a manufacturer, they can't even get their metrics right. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to start putting this together, and we'll see how this is looking. So the first thing you do is you put the T-piece on the front. The bolts, bolt orientation, you have bolt there, spacer washer goes over the bolt, that goes into the hole. I've already done obviously the first two just because I don't have a camera stand, and then we get the 10mm nut and we stick it on the back. So give me 2 seconds. Okay, so they're now tightened down. As my torque wrench doesn't have a bit small enough for the 8mm, I've had to do it by hand, but I've just gone with a fairly tight squeeze on there, so it should be fine. There's a little rubber boot, just goes over the top there. Just pop that on, and that's that part. So all we need to do now is we're going to get the visor, we're going to sit that in place. It literally sits over the rubber boot and then clops down like that. There we go. And then what we have on the front, the bolts go in, and then behind that we have washers and the nuts. So give me just a moment and we'll get those on there too. Okay, so I've got one bolt in there. One thing I would like to note is when you're putting these bolts in, let me just slide that one in there for a second. On the back, it is quite limited in terms of the amount of space you have to get the nut and the washer on. It is doable, it's just a little bit faffy if you've got chunky fingers. So just worth knowing that. Okay, so I said not too easy to fit, and then that one took me about 2 or 3 minutes because I couldn't get it to screw in at the back. And that's in there now. It's actually torqued. I was able to do that one using the 4mm Allen on my torque wrench. Honestly, the torque wrench felt like it was going a bit too hard, so I had to actually back off a little bit. The other thing it comes with is 2 bolts here. Now these have a little, I'm guessing like a thread lock on them or something. They say you should only fit these once. So what I'll do, it's absolutely pitch black outside in the UK. It's freezing cold, it's wet, so I'm going to go out when the weather's a little bit nicer and fit it to the bike. But that's how to put together the meter visor for the GSX-S 1000. So still wet, still miserable, but at least it's light now. I want to get this job done. So what we're going to do, we're going to start by releasing the old unit and to replace it with a new one. It looks fairly straightforward. Underneath the indicator itself, there is right there a little push clip. Now the push clips themselves, there you are, have a little bit in the center which you basically pop in. I use a small Allen key to do so, and then you have to get your fingernail underneath like so, and then give it a little pop and off she goes. Then it's a 4mm Allen key on. I like to use a ratchet myself. Pop it in there, we'll undo that, do that both sides, and then I'll come back to you. You may have noticed we've gained a towel. Reason being is this is held in once it's undone by 3 clips at the back. To get the front panel off, I put my fingers behind, you have to give it a good tug. Then all 3 clips pop. this flew off, bounced off me front mudguard. Luckily didn't damage it, but I'd suggest putting a towel down in future just to prevent that happening. We've got the new one's here. So all we're hopefully going to do is sit that roughly where it goes, and then that will clip in place. Now, I'm going to be honest, I am going to be removing this straight back off, there we go, because I'm getting it ceramic coated like the rest of the bike before I fit it, so I don't really want to get it too dirty. But that should give a good impression of how the new meter visor looks on the GSX 1000. Let's just throw the towel out of the way, there we go. Just walk around for a second. Is it going to do much? I have no idea. Once it's ceramic coated on the bike, I may post a follow-up video.